Thanks for listening to Inside Real Estate with Kim McCarty. With over 20 years of experience, Kim McCarty specializes in the North Texas market and will guide you through the complicated world of real estate.
All right, it's time for another episode of Inside Real Estate with Kim McCarty. And today you want to talk about protesting your property taxes because you actually did this.
I did. So what I wanted to do is kind of do a 2.0 version, because I know we talked about this last year and we put it out there for everybody to do if they wanted to protest their taxes. We did it a little bit late last year. So this time we have more of a window that people can do it. They could do it informally, and they could just show up at the county courthouse with their comps and pictures, etc., and maybe get it reduced right there, or they can set up an appointment and do it formally. So what I actually did was I did mine formally. I set up the appointment, sent in the form to get it all approved, and we did it formally. So I went through that process. So I kind of want to talk about how that process went, so that if you are considering protesting your taxes and you do the formal review, you kind of know what to expect. So what happens when you go on the day that you are scheduled, you'll sign in and you will give the clerk the comps that you brought. So make sure that you have a real estate agent provide you with comps in the area. They are looking from January 1st, 2018 through about March 31st of 2019. So those are the comps that they're going to use. So when you get there, you will have them upload those comps. And then that way, when you sit in front of the review board, they have the exact same thing that you brought in front of them. They will ask you, do you want to go first, or do you want us to go first? I went first. I went through all of my comps with them, explained to them why I believed that my property was overvalued, and went through all the comps. They then go through their comps that their appraiser gives them, and they go through that, and then they review with each other and decide what they will do. I will tell you that they vote. So they vote, and the majority will get whether or not you get a reduction or not based on the majority vote. They will vote on the amount that they believe is fair, and if they believe that your value is fair, they vote for that. So they actually voted in favor that mine needed to be reduced by $8,000, which is not a huge reduction, but it did at least give me some sort of a reduction on my 2018 taxes. So I just kind of wanted to share kind of what to expect. There's a room full of people that are behind you or in front of you that go first or go behind you and go after you. I did notice that a lot of people were not prepared for that meeting. And I will tell you, if you are not prepared for that meeting, they will not give you a reduction. You need to be prepared with comps. You need to be prepared with pictures and stuff that will value why your property is needing to be reduced. There was a couple that was in front of me that had just purchased their property, and they discovered all the windows leaked after they had moved in, something that the seller probably knew about, didn't disclose. So they were wanting to get it reduced so that they could get their windows replaced, and they denied them the reduction. They denied them the reduction because they felt like they needed to seek counsel and go back on the seller for not disclosing that those windows leaked, because it was apparent that it was a problem that had been happening for a long time. So, they're very knowledgeable and they're very accurate with why they decide they're going to reduce something or not reduce something.
Okay, how intimidating is it?
I was intimidated, and I know the facts of my property, and I know the comps very well for my area. So I was a little nervous and intimidated. I was second, and so I got to see at least one couple go in front of me and how that process was going to work. Do you want to go first? Do you want to go second? So I got to see them present their material and then see the county review board come back in and do their process as well. So it really helped me to know what to expect right when I walked in. That's why I wanted to do this. I felt like it was important for people to understand that it isn't just you and a few people sitting there. It is a room with other citizens who are also trying to protest, property owners, and then I believe there's about 5 people sitting on the board, plus the appraiser. So they have the appraiser there, plus the review board of about 5 people.
Okay, now you saved $8,000 in
in my property value.
How much does that save you?
Well, the interesting thing is not very much. So this year, my property value went up another $23,000.
Mm-hmm. And the max is 30, right?
The max is 10%.
Okay.
So 10% of whatever your value is. So mine went up another $23,000, and I should protest it again because I don't think I could sell my property for what they are now telling me it's worth. So I've gone through this time, not only done the comps, because what I noticed they also did was they used homes that were similar, not recent sales, but similar in my community to my home. So what I did is I actually drove my neighborhood on Monday, and I went through and picked every house just like my floor plan, wrote down the address, went back to the county's website, looked at what they had proposed the value for that property to be in 2019, and they have basically put my property $23,000 higher than most of the other properties. So I have that now to go along with my comps. So that would be another thing that would be really smart to do, is to also drive your neighborhood and find the homes that are just like yours as far as the model that you have. And then that way you can support it with those comps as well. Because if you go to Collin County Appraisals website, you can see what every home in your neighborhood is proposed for 2019.
Okay, and then the other question I have, you talked about them telling that couple to seek legal counsel.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like in most cases it would be worth it even if you could do it, but could you be represented at a...
You can bring representation with you if you want. You could bring a real estate agent that maybe knows the area, because that's the very first thing they asked me after I got done presenting them with my comps. Any chance you're a real estate agent? So they knew that I knew way more than the average person coming in about comps and how to comp out properties. So they picked up on that really quickly.
Do you think that helped you out?
I think it helped me because I had been in every house that they had used as a comp. Because of most of those homes out in my neighborhood, I sell so many of them. Mm-hmm. So I knew this house had this house had this, mine doesn't have this. That's why pictures are worth 1,000 words. So if every comp in your neighborhood, like we talked about last year, has wood floor and granite and you haven't done it, well, then you need to take pictures of your home. If every house has an updated master bathroom and you haven't done it, then bring a picture in. So those things are really important. You asked me how much it reduces your overall tax bill. I did the math on it compared to everyone else in my neighborhood, priced at, $23,000 lower, $375 over the course of the year.
Okay,
that is not a huge difference. Yes.
It probably made it a little bit worthwhile to do the legwork.
Oh, it is a lot of money. I mean, $375, that's a good amount of money. But when you look at it that way, you go, okay, is it worth doing it? For me, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this year informally. So what I'm going to do is just take up my comps and speak to somebody, not a review board, just speak to somebody and see if I can get a reduction there. You can also do it online, and you can submit online before May 15th, and they will review it and decide right then and there, are you going to get a reduction? Are you not going to get a reduction? And then you can decide if you want to make that formal review.
Okay, tell me if I'm doing it wrong. When I look at that assessment every year that I get, I think to myself, could I sell my house for this amount?
No, I think you're doing it right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the way I look at it. I've done several comps for other people so far this year, and I've told them I think it's right. I've always said Collin County is very good at doing their appraisals and their assessments. They're very good at it, and they're actually quite accurate. So when I do other people's, I'm asking the question, what have you updated? What have you not updated? Then I can look at the comps and provide good feedback for them. I don't think it's worth your time, or if you want to do it, run it through just the online version and see if you get a little bit of a reduction. But at the end of the day, I think their value is right.
Did you come out feeling like a winner?
A little bit.
It's like a competition,
but not as much as I was hoping for.
Okay.
I was hoping for a bigger reduction, but at least I got a little bit. I will say that there are a lot of people leaving there angry because they didn't get a reduction at all. So I think they stand pretty firm on their value, and unless something is grossly mistaken, they're not willing to give up a whole lot.
So the bottom line is, if you think you have a case, go ahead and fight it.
Go ahead and fight it. If you think you have a case, go ahead and fight it. If you've not done the updating, you need to do those things. Those are the things that they're going to look at, because remember, they're a drive-by. They're not walking into your house. They don't know what you have or you don't have on the inside. So if you've got things that need to be done, deferred maintenance that needs to be handled, those are some things that they might consider. So I just wanted to kind of update this podcast so that people would understand kind of what to expect when you walk in and do the formal review, and that it is a little bit intimidating. If I was intimidated, I think it would be intimidating for most people. So I was a little intimidated by the whole aspect of it. But after going through it, at least now I know how to educate people that ask me what the process looks like. How does it run? This is how it all happens.
And can people email you or call you for more
Absolutely.
advice?
Feel free to email me, kimmccarty@kw.com, or give us a call at 214-662-9308.
Super.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Please be sure to share this episode with your family and friends. If you'd like more information about Kim, just go over to her website, themccartygrouprealtors.com, or give her a call at 214-662-9308.